being a sellout. I want to give you some principles from this is a powerful training that I've done, and I just want to give you this is my most popular series. I just want to give you some tidbits from it, the art of selling without selling. See, write this down. Selling isn't everything, but everything is enhanced by selling. Can I say that again, please? I said selling isn't everything, but everything is enhanced by selling. If you're going to be a good parent, you need some skills at selling or influencing your children. If you're going to be a good pastor, it's all about skills and selling and influence on people. No matter what you are, an attorney simply is trying to sell. And again, we often think of selling as products and services, but even more importantly than products and services is the selling of ideas and concepts, because it's the selling of ideas and concepts that allows people to buy the products or the services. I mean, literally, when I met my ABCD, my adorable brown caramel delight, not years ago, in essence, I was selling her. As a matter of fact, when I proposed to her, in essence, I was selling her on why she ought to spend the rest of her life with me and say no to every other guy. And she, in essence, was saying, and you do the same. So we don't think about it in those terms. But again, selling isn't everything, but everything is enhanced by selling. By the way, can I ask you a question? Who sold you on the concept that you can't sell? As a matter of fact, let me go a step further. Who sold you? You might want to write this down, on the expensive idea. Why do you keep buying the expensive idea that you cannot sell? So again, why do you keep buying the expensive idea that you cannot sell? You see, you're buying into an idea that you cannot sell. And I want to sell you, in essence, on the profitable idea that you can and enjoy selling if you understood the proper way and had the proper mindset. See, there's always good and bad in everything. And the problem is, like me, I couldn't stand selling. I hated selling. And everybody kept saying to me many years ago, oh, you'd be great as a salesperson. I'm like, man, stay away from me with that. No way. I wanted nothing to do with selling. Why? Because in my mind, selling was some loud talking, fast talking person that's trying to get you to buy something that actually you don't really need. And they're just trying to sell you so they can make money. And so I was totally against that. I mean, it's like the police. I mean, nobody's against the police. We're just against bad police, right? We're just against police shooting unarmed people, right, for no reason, apparently, other than the color of their skin, or other than it look like what they might be. See, nobody has a problem with the police. The police are great when they do what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to protect, to serve, and to protect. Nobody has a problem with that. We only have a problem with the bad. You see what I'm saying? And I'm saying this, my friend, even in this area of selling, what you have to understand and what you have to get is, I was in essence fighting against the very thing that was going to lead to some of the greatest success in my life. You see, when you talk about building a big team, first of all, get this, you have to be sold yourself, right? You have to be sold yourself that you can do it, and you have to be sold, and you have to sell people. As a matter of fact, if you break it down to the most common denominator of secret in my building teams, it was selling people on the concept or the idea that they could do this, that I would help them, and it's going to help them to get where they want to go. So I'm telling you, my friend, when you truly understand, because literally in the Greek, the word service or serve, sales comes from that word, serve or service. So when you understand this, and that's why, again, my whole training, which, by the way, think about this. Why is it, most people, watch this now, they don't like or they're negative about what they don't know much about. And so since most of us didn't know much about selling, why? Because we haven't had a negative connotation against selling. Just like I had a negative connotation about home-based business because of a pastor that I admired and that was my mentor that was totally against it. And by the way, he didn't even know why he was against it. And years later, I found out. And I read the Bible. I'm like, wait a minute. This is incredible. It's like Jesus is building a network, and he's got 12 on his team, and through his 12, he's reaching the world. I mean, this is incredible. But what I'm saying is, and when we talk about the breakthrough, most people, again, even like my oldest son Joshua, who did 2 tours in Afghanistan, serving the Marines, but he was again so entrenched in being, well, Dad, you're kind of outgoing, and so I'm a little different, and his whole thing was, I don't want anything to do with the selling thing. And he took my selling course, the Breakthrough Selling Secrets. And he called me up. He's like, Dad, now, I've heard you my whole life. He's like, this is by far the best I've ever heard you. He's like, oh, my goodness. He's like, you have opened my eyes. I'm getting so many breakthroughs. He says, I had negative impulses, negative feelings, negative connotations about selling. And now that I've been through your course, now I understand the true essence of selling. And he said, I love it, and I want to be able to serve more people with things that would empower them. And so, my friend, again, the art of selling without selling, or how to sell without being a sellout. You remember the movie Bruce Lee, he talked about the art of fighting without fighting, right? So in other words, you're using your mind, so you don't have to physically get into it. Well, the art of selling without selling, or how to sell without being a sellout, because the psychology of it all is that most people deeply embedded, we have something, there's something that just doesn't feel right about selling. There's something that just, and again, that comes because we've been indoctrinated in essence to be against it. And part of it is because of our experiences, like, right, you walk in somewhere and all of a sudden somebody's trying to talk to themselves. As a matter of fact, isn't it amazing how when you walk into a store, for instance, a department store or a shopping center in the mall or whatever, and the people say, hey, can I help you? And you first, nope. Why? Because we don't want to try to sell us anything. Now, the funny thing is when you need help, you can't hardly find anybody, right? So anyway, but the breakthrough selling system, so the art of selling without selling, or how to sell without being a sellout, I say to you, see, people that don't understand selling, what they do is they sell stuff to people that oftentimes the people don't need, and for a higher price and all these things. And they're using people to create and using people to sell things to. Whereas when you get the essence of this, my friend, you don't want to use people. You want to use what people want to sell them what they need, and to give them service that makes them want to keep coming back. And so there's 6 powerful trainings in the breakthrough selling system. For instance, in the lesson number 1, which I've been covering a little bit, that is selling sabotage. In other words, most people, they have a bad experience with selling because someone was bad to them selling, but then when they tried to sell something, they had a bad experience, and part of that was because of what was lodged in your mind, and part of because of the way you came at it. So again, most people, we talked about in the first session how most people hate and they feel horrible, or they think that they are too honest to sell. No, listen, when you take this course, you're going to understand, if you're really honest, my friend, you have to have something. If you have something that's really valuable, you have to sell it to people that you value. You're going to learn, for instance, the real reason people don't like or do good at sales. And by the way, if you don't do good at sales, you can't do good at recruiting. If you can't do good at recruiting, you won't do good at sharing. I mean, come on. So it's all tied in. I mean, even when you talk about sharing something, it's still tied into sales, because you're sharing something. And again, now you're not connected, where sales would be you have an outcome that's desired, where sharing is just, you're just giving information. But watch this, my friend. But when you understand the true essence of it, you want to give information in such a way that people accept it. Else, why else just sharing information? I mean, come on. So you want to share valuable information that can bring value to people. For instance, in lesson number 1, we also cover the secret to getting past sabotage and the misconceptions and even the self-pity in selling. We talk about you can learn how to unleash your hidden ability to sell. Do you know God made you? I mean, look at a child. They're natural at selling, right? Mom, can I have a cookie? No. Mom, can I please have a cookie? No, boy. And, a couple hours later, Mom, I just love you. You're just so special. But can I just please have a cookie, Mom? I mean, by the time the day is over, that little fella, little young lady, they are going to it's just incredible. They're going to get that thing accomplished. Why? Because you were born with that, but somehow along the line it gets beat out of you, my friend, and all of a sudden it gets contorted and misconstrued. And so, again, you've got to understand this, my friend. You will never, listen, write this down. You will never build a big team. You will never, ever build a big team if you don't understand the true essence of selling. You will never recruit a big team if you don't understand the real essence of selling, the true selling, the art of selling without being a sellout. And lesson number 2, we talk about selling secrets, and we give 10 selling secrets that can make you a fortune. 10 secrets that can make you a fortune. We talk about how to discover the key that makes people want what you have to offer. And part of that is based on what? Marketing. See, marketing is the ability, write this down, this is good, the ability to identify and create in others a desire to buy what you have to offer, which in essence solves their problems. You see, my friend, what I'm saying is, when you really understand this selling thing, it's not selling as we think, it's serving, it's being of service, it's bringing value. Like my main mentor, Bill Bailey, I said, what do you do to have a company grossing $64 million a month? He said, young Dr. Breakthrough, you're asking me the wrong question. I said, well, what question should I have asked you? He said, you should have asked me, how much value, what kind of value did I bring that resulted in $64 million a month? You see, if you get good at bringing the value, you can't help but receive the value. So you understand, my friend, that changed my life forever. And I'm saying this, my friend, if you're going to really understand the essence of selling, the essence, and again, when you say selling, you might as well think recruiting. When you say selling, you might as well think not just recruiting, but also sharing. And you will never be good. Why is it that some people can share information with people and people accept the information and run on it, and other people share the information that is not even considered or taken? Why? Because one person has an ability. Watch this now. They have honed their skill of selling, when the other one's like, well, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, fine. You don't want to do that, so you're going to lose out like I did for many years. You're going to lose out on what could be one of the greatest blessings in all of your life. See, selling becomes easy when you know the secrets. And so we have a whole training on the selling secrets. And lesson number 3, we're talking about selling selection and posture and learning how to deal with rejection. Because, see, if you understand the truth of serving, if you understand the truth of bringing value, then you don't have to have that fear of the rejection. By the way, we talk about pros get paid while others get frustrated, and how to adapt the posture of a pro. See, we talk about embracing the secret where you can never get another no again, by the way. Right? And of course, part of that is you've got to learn, first of all, if you're focused on what you're looking for, then anybody that's not based on what you're looking for to help make a difference, you can't feel the rejection. But in essence, you can get to the place where you can learn. I mean, here in a nutshell, here's how you never get another no again. You can learn to say no first. In other words, you can learn to stop the process because you pick up or you see that either now, and again, when you understand you have something that they need and something that will be of value to them. But the key is, if they don't recognize the value, or if they're not willing to move on the value, then you've got to be willing to move first to say, maybe the timing is not right or whatever else, and you've got to be the one that pulls back and pulls away. So you don't have to worry about getting a no. Literally, you can learn to start saying no to people after you do this sort and sifting process. And lesson number 4, we talk about selling scripturally. We talk about, the movie. How many remember the movie, The Secret? See, it really wasn't a secret, but rather it's a scripture principle that you must utilize and utilize immediately. It's not a secret. It's a scripture. And by the way, we talk about the greatest book ever written, which is the Bible, promises blessings if you sell. I mean, not if you give away, if you sell. Proverbs 11:26. He that withholdeth corn, the people shall curse him. And nobody ever wants to be cursed, right? So, but he that withholdeth the corn was the staple of the day. Corn is something that's of value. Corn was something that the people needed. Corn was something that was going to help and empower for the breakthrough. Corn was something. So he that withholdeth the corn, the people shall curse him. If you hold back what can help the people, you're going to be cursed. Like Joseph, remember, he had the wisdom of God to understand that 7 years of plenteous, and then we're going to come 7 years of famine. So he said to Pharaoh, you better save up during the 7 years of plenteous, and then during the 7 years of famine, literally the whole world, all of Egypt comes and says, listen, in your storehouses, you've got the food. We need food. We want to buy it. We need corn. We want to buy it. If he says no, literally they curse him. Why? Because now he's keeping back from something that they need, something that's going to benefit them and bless them and their families, and it's going to end up bad for them. And so again, Proverbs 11:26, he that withholdeth the corn, the people should curse him. If Joseph would have said, no, I'm not selling you this corn. No, we say that we can't sell it. I'm not selling it. Then they curse him. They speak bad about him. They speak ill of him. It goes, listen, but watch this. But it says, but blessing shall be upon the head of him that selleth. So watch this. Flip the script. Now they come to Joseph. They said, and he says, okay, I sell it to you. And they bless him. Why? Because they get something that they need. Why? Because they have something now that's going to sustain their family. Why? They have something now of value. They have something that they got to have. And I'm telling you, my friend, God, watch this now. God is no respecter of persons. And he has allowed you, my friend, he's given you gifts, talents, and ability, or he's allowed you to get connected with concepts and things, my friend, that people need and they got to have. And if you hold it back from them, my friend, you're holding back your very own blessings. If you hold it back, you're holding back their breakthrough and you're holding back your breakthrough. So watch this, my friend. So you've got to break through this fear. You've got to break through the self-sabotaging when it comes to selling. Why? Because in essence, you're holding back the blessings from coming on your life. The very blessings you've been praying for, the very blessings that you want and strive for are being held back by barriers in your own mind based on false concepts against selling. Oh, man, I'm talking up in here. So watch this. So in lesson 5, we talk about selling styles, and you learn the brief overview of 4 personalities and so forth. And then you talk about the one style that's ruined it for most people ever wanting to sell. See, we start understanding the history and where this comes from. You're like, oh, now I get it. And then also you have a greater understanding of yourself and others. And then in lesson 6, we start going through the selling systems and the selling steps. And that system is something that, of course, that works every time by everyone who works it. So if you learn the system, you get the benefit. You're going to learn several systems that can instantly boost your success. And you're going to learn how to turn a single customer, by the way, into multiple customers. That now you know you're doing something great. and we're going to show you how to embrace the breakthrough selling cycle that can make you a fortune. So again, you won't know this. So my special Breakthrough Empowerment Center. Now, again, there's no www. It's just Breakthrough Empowerment Center. So I also got a domain to forward it. I don't know what's going on with the www thing, but now the www works on theinternetmentor.com. So if you just go to www.theinternetmentor.com, theinternetmentor.com. So up until midnight tonight, we're going to have 85% off. You can get, I just skimmed over what's in my most powerful training ever, and instead of you paying $197, as a matter of fact, there's folks that actually have purchased that for $497. I got it discounted on my website for $197, but now it's going to be an 85% discount till midnight tonight, which means it comes out to $29.70. Are you kidding me? And why am I doing this? Well, one is because I know if you purchase this and you're going to have to tell somebody about it, and then there's going to be people that go to my site and buy it at the regular price. So it'll make it back. And by the way, one of the things that I teach in the selling system is called a loss leader. Now, businesses, when they do a loss leader, in other words, they make something at a heavy discount to get you in the door, knowing that when you go in the door, you won't just get that, you'll end up getting something else as well. So as a matter of fact, I actually got a bundle, breakthrough bundle, three of my best trainings, $345. With the discount, it comes out to like $51.75. So I close with this. There's a coupon code. You just put birthday for the coupon code or Uplift, either one of those, birthday or Uplift, and you'll get that 85% discount up until midnight tonight, Central Standard Time. And for the bundle, if you want that, you just put bundle in there. So again, this is something, if you're serious about why you're waiting to build, while you're waiting, you could be, again, getting groomed, getting trained. And I tell you, I want to buy this thing myself at such a low price. I mean, I don't know about you. Sometimes when I see such a good sale, I don't even need it. I just buy it. My wife like, baby, why'd you buy it? It's just such a good deal, right? And such a good deal to bring value to you. Special shout out to Apostle Burrell, many others, Willie Tubbs, many others who already purchased this. So, but the art of selling without selling, how to sell without being a sellout, I believe, as I say, you may be one step from a massive breakthrough. This, I believe, could be the step to the breakthrough that would help you to build teams bigger, better, and faster, and have more influence than ever before. God bless you. It's breakthrough time. Sharp.
Wow.
Sharp.
Sharp. Hey, Doc, I'm tell you something, guys. I have those series, and they are endorsed by Coach. But I'm telling you that art of selling without selling, man, I'm telling you, you gotta have it. You gotta have it. And so is everything else that Dr. Break puts out, nothing but quality. But I'll tell you what, I have the series, and I'm telling you right now, brother, I put my stamp on it. You gotta have it. Many people struggle with selling, and a lot of times it's because they've been sold to, like Dr. Breakthrough says, wrong. They had a Kirby vacuum cleaner person came in the house, wouldn't leave, and they said, I hate salespeople, But listen, if you hate salespeople, you can never be a salesperson, and then that'll block you from being able to sell. So you want to make sure that you understand that money changes hands through sales. And anything you do, you want to make money. So Dr. Breakthrough, we thank you for giving us this 85% off deal, and you must have lost your mind. But before he changes his mind, guys, go to the site, get the information. It's actually an act of love for Breakthrough to give us that wisdom. The Bible says in Psalm and Proverbs, buy wisdom. Listen to me, buy wisdom. Put your money into wisdom. What it says is, here's how it said, one translation says, even though it costs you everything, buy wisdom. So guys, make sure you make the purchase today. Well, this is Dr. Breakthrough and Pastor Kenny. We're signing out.